Polani Satchwayo and Janchi Tlamini are the two linesmen for a key tie here this evening. Good pitch conditions. This Attridgeville surface at one stage in the season was really in a bad way, but they've fixed it up very nicely. It looks as if these two teams will be able to play some decent football, and they did water this pitch as well inside the last hour, so that'll help the ball move a little faster. So here's how the standings look at the moment. Remember, we've already had 4 games this weekend, all of them draws, none of them really affecting that top half, but 3 points is the difference, but 1 game more Sundowns have played. They could go 6 clear, but as Stanton said, it's Pirates' championship now to lose. If Pirates win all 3 of their games, they will be crowned champions. Even if Sundowns win their last 2 matches, Pirates' goal difference is far superior to that of Sundowns. Pirates plus 41, Sundowns plus 34. There is a 7-goal swing, which you think would be very difficult for Sundowns to haul in here in the final stages of the season. So 8 successive campaigns, they have been crowned champions. Is that crown finally going to slip tonight or potentially on Tuesday? We will see. The next 90 minutes crucial. If they don't win this one, Sundowns, well, they can kiss that championship goodbye. So they're attacking to the left of your screen, the defending league champions in their traditional Brazilian colors, the green of Siwelele, attacking here on the right, looking for Lungu in the middle. This is Jezza with battling. Kampani Lungu, who got his first goal of the season against Durban City on Wednesday, leading the line for Siwelele, and they forced the first set piece of the night. That's an interesting little early omen.
I remember the last time these two sides met, it ended in a draw. Mokoena getting the red card, and this is what Siwelele had done. Sat back nice and deep, and they used that speed of the likes of Potsane as well as Jezza on the wings, and immediately we see evidence thereof.
So, first corner comes inside the opening 2 minutes. Let's see what guns Siwelele have pushed forward. Certainly the big centre-backs, both Debele and Morbi are in there. Little flick on, bit of panic in that Sundowns defence, and then Aubrey Modiba gets a big hoof to it and clears it away. Be collected by Moralo, and Sundowns have the throw-in.
Well, Siwelele will come into this match with the confidence of their performances against the other 2 big sides, and the Pirates as well as Kaizer Chiefs, thinking and feeling that they can get something from this encounter. They're also fighting for a top 8 position.
Unbeaten in their last 5 league matches, Siwelele, though 4 of those drawn, but creeping closer to the top 8. They're on 33 points. Golden Arrows directly above them in 8th spot on 37 after they drew earlier today. So there's a 4-point gap, but Arrows missing out on an opportunity. They drew 0-0 with Polokwane City earlier on today. If you missed the other scores, Galaxy cannot finish last now after picking up a precious point in a 1-1 home draw with Chippa United. Chippa are still in trouble. Orbit College 0, Amazulu 0. That's a good result for Orbit, who are now 3 points above bottom placed Magesi. And also a valuable point for Marumo Gallants. They drew 1-1 with Richards Bay. They are 2 points above Magesi, who play later on at 8 p.m. against Orlando Pirates at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Here's Modiba with a inviting little ball over the head of Leon. Matthews trying to get it back here. Damani, nice and cool and calm and collected despite his young age. Hoping, of course, for a World Cup berth. The national team for the World Cup expected to be announced later this month. Here's Nuno Santos. A little too strong for Letlaku. Siwelele looking to break out whenever they can. Leon's played this across, but it struck Mokoane. does look a wonderful playing surface. There was a very bad fungus here at the Lucas Moripe Stadium earlier on in the season. They've done a lot of hard work on this pitch. It's the first game for Sundowns since they drew with Marumo Gallants and then were knocked out on penalties in the Carling knockout back in October. Marumo Gallants, by the way, have played here twice in March. But Sundowns have had all of their home games at Loftus Versfeld since early October.
And if the pitch stays like this, you wonder why Sundowns don't just make this their home ground. And if this surface can remain like this, it really suits them. Because you do have that occasional Loftus Versfeld rugby games which can disturb the quality.
You say that. They are playing the Champions League final next Sunday, May the 17th. The day after, the Blue Bulls play on the same pitch, which is going to be very interesting. And if there's bad weather, of course, those rugby guys really do make divots all over the place.
Last time I was at Loftus, I had a chat with the groundsman there, Johan and Abungile. That pitch at Loftus is 50% hybrid and 50% natural grass. And they did mention the final and say they're going to have to work all evening to make sure that it is in good condition for that final.
Now, Potsane. Picked up at the back by the youngster Ndebele, 21-year-old, is centre-back alongside Nico Morbi, who usually plays at right-back, but has been in that centre-back position for a while now. Potsane driving his way through. What a superb tackle again from Kuliso Mudau. Outstanding season again for him, even if he missed the first couple of games of the campaign when he was trying to force a transfer away from Mamelodi Sundowns. He's come back and just reaffirmed what a quality act he is. That was an excellent challenge to deny Potsane. There'll be a patient approach tonight from Mamelodi Sundowns. They know they've got the big guns to force an opening. Here's Mokoena, he's going to go long range! Brings out the best in Ricardo Goss, who's also hoping to be in the World Cup squad, of course.
You just mentioned big guns, and that is one of them. Found space there. Siwelele is going to have to do better. You cannot give Chimoko Mokoena that amount of space on the edge of the box. That was going in the back of the net. Brilliant save there from Goss.
It'll be Sundowns' first corner of the game. Allende, the de facto set-piece taker, gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbi. What a strike from Mokoena! On the full body, just turned the foot around, and in the 7th minute, he has made the breakthrough. And that will settle the nerves here at Atteridgeville.
They expected it to end up in the back of the net. When that man finds it at the edge of the box. A brilliant strike, he was patient with it. Play to the back post. A clearance, not enough. And that is not an easy technique. What a strike there. Firmly eyes fixed on that ball. No chance for Goss.
Also coming through a crowd of players made it even more difficult for the goalkeeper, but struck superbly. He scored against Gallants in March. He got a double, a goal against Golden Arrows as well. His 4th league goal of the season to Boko Mokoena, arguably one of the more important that he has scored for his side. Of course, a couple of vital goals in this Champions League campaign this season as well. So the live log will have Sundowns 6 clear at the top, but having played 2 more. Pirates still with a better goal difference. It's now a 6-goal swing. And remember, sometimes they say, Stanton, points in the pocket much more valuable than catch-up matches.
Indeed, and as you were going through the log table, Magesi, which is playing against Orlando Pirates, if they were to get 3 points, that'll see them go up to 14th position.
And away from relegation places, so they'll be motivated tonight, is what you're saying.
That's what's up.
That game at 8 o'clock, following this one. You will not want to leave your sofa this evening. Superb action here in the Betway Premiership. Last night, of course, a draw between Durban City and Stellenbosch, who also still have top 8 hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. Here's Santos with a cross and a header and another goal. It's Tashrik Matthews. A double blow from Mamelodi Sundowns early on. And you wonder now whether they're not thinking about goal difference.
That's what a brilliant goal there from Sundowns. What a team goal, a bit of individual brilliance down the flank. And it's Matthews tucked inside off the left with the headed goal.
Well, he can perhaps afford a smile, the coach. His team has got off to an absolutely brilliant start.
Done extremely well to keep the ball in play. A drop of the shoulder, just laying it in the path of Santos here. And a delightful cross there. Matthews just got ahead of Mfolozi at the far post, and it's game on, looking for that goal difference is Sundowns.
Not one you would associate with a headed goal from that close in, Tashrik Matthews. But another valuable contribution. He's had a good season in front of goal, Matthews. That's number 7 of this campaign. Well, 10 minutes gone. Sundowns 2 to the good.
Yeah, you always just felt that Matthews needed to add a few goals to his contribution, and he's starting to show now.
Another teasing run down that right-hand side. Another cross. This time, Letlaku unable to provide the accuracy of the previous one.
Discussion there between Rapo and Ndebele.
Rapo, of course, under 20 international, still a developing talent. He's been on the scene for a while, though. Made his debut at the age of 17 and 5 months. Only turned 21 this coming August. This is his 4th season in the top flight. He with SuperSport United. Play a lot, but certainly got plenty of exposure to the rigours of the top flight.
Given his opportunity by Gavin Hunt.
A lot of these players, of course, from SuperSport United debuting as teenagers under Gavin Hunt. It's interesting that Lefranolo Siem has done much the same over the last couple of games with the likes of Jazza, who's playing up front. There was young Mazibuko as man of the match in their draw against Golden Arrows a couple of games back. He gave a debut to Macau, young under-20 international in the midfield a couple of games back. So he's also looking to develop some of the younger talent at the club. Good turn here from Markaman. Mungu slipped, although he's claiming some interference. He'll be key today, Grant Markaman, in the middle of the park with his ability to get the ball forward quickly for the runners.
Yeah, and he's alongside Mokoena in the midfield, and surprisingly enough, Tebogo Mokoena found so much space where Markaman should have been covering to get the corner, and thereafter on the tip of the box. You'd expect them to be managing the danger in midfield there. Sure, something that CMA will have a chat about at half-time.
Kakana into the lineup tonight because Kiana Cupido suffered a shoulder injury against Kaizer Chiefs on Wednesday. One that the prognosis on how serious it is yet to come. Until Salas is on the bench today, but there was talk that his season is over. Also a shoulder injury picked up away against Richard Bay a couple of games ago. A bit of a surprise to see his name on the bench. Modiba finds Matthews now. up against Moralo. Finds Santos, time to turn, here's the cross. Letlaku, that's number 3! Woo. No, flags up for offside, that's not going to count. Mr. Janshit Lamini is the linesman on the far side. Did he get this right?
Yeah, nice build-up play here from Matthews, combining with Santos. He got it wrong.
He got it horribly wrong.
He got it. Mfolozi playing him on side, that should have stood. Bad call.
Well, it denies Brian Leon yet another goal. He's made a big impact since arriving in the January transfer window. So we've seen one or two decisions lately from linesmen who perhaps a little too eager to raise their flag. If there's any hesitation or any doubt, they must give the benefit to the attacking side. And oftentimes that's not the case. Sundowns should be 3 ahead inside the opening quarter hour. I'm sure that on the bench they would have seen that by now as well. Everyone has an iPad these days with the live coverage, so grumpy, I'm sure.
I don't think Kados has seen it, because there would have been a different reaction on the line.
Now Modiba. Markeman got a little knock on Mokwena's jaw there. Here comes a bit of pace down this right-hand side with Jeza. Cut out by Santos, who almost gifted it back to Jeza. He clears away well. Been out injury. Santos did have an appearance in the last encounter. Ricardo Goss not finding his man. Long ball forward, 15 minutes gone. Plenty of action already in these early stages. Vashera and Siema, are they trying to find some cement to fill the holes? Modiba looking for Leon behind the defender, and Mobi's clearance only as far as Tashik Matthews. Swing it out to the right. Santos, Mudau and Allende. As things stand now, Sundowns up to 68 points. They've won the league before. The lowest tally in the 8 successive seasons that they've been champions, 59. You'll remember that COVID season and the season before that. 59 points was enough to win the league. Already Sundowns with 65 before today, Pirates on 62. And of course the most points to win the league the last 2 seasons, Sundowns got 73 points. If they win tonight and they win on Tuesday away at Bombela against Galaxy in their last league game of the season, they will finish on a maximum of 71, which if you finish second on 71 is quite something. Pirates' maximum that they can haul in is also 71, but as we pointed out already, a superior goal difference, which is now down to 5 over Sundowns. They've got that game against Magesi to come. They'll be looking for a bit of a goal spree there as well.
I think first the 3 points and then the goals for Pirates. It should have been cut down to 4. That was a clear goal from Sundowns. It should have.
Can you imagine if the title comes down to a single goal?
Wow.
That's going to be a big debating point. Mokwena's got a bit of a knock there on the side of the head. You can see a bit of a shiner. Holding off Mokoane. Now Mokwena just bursting through. Pass looking for Leon. Good interception from Mobi. This is Jeza. It's only his 4th start for Siwelele. Very exciting youngster on the right-hand side. Early ball out from Santos. The Tlaku is off.
Yeah, I think at a quick glance, I think he was right this time. Glasgow wanted the ball a little bit earlier there. See, spun. Santos couldn't have played it earlier, but it's not very decisive from that angle.
There is a chance he might have been on. Letlaku, as we mentioned earlier, first start since January when they beat Auburn College at home by 2 goals to 0. So he will not be as sharp as the rest in terms of game time, but it is a good opportunity for him tonight.
Well, he started off brightly. Top of the shoulder there, laying it into the path of Santos for the cross for that first goal.
Little push there from Mokoena. Giving away the free kick. It was on Moralo. Just gives him a little shove there. So the sun has set here over Atteridgeville and Tshwane. It's actually a lovely night. All of the predictions of supremely cold weather have not come true, although apparently it is on its way tomorrow in the Cape, and it'll move up north. Mistake there. Now, that will be just outside the box. But it was Letlaku and Santos with a little misunderstanding, and Potsane, the player, brought down.
Yeah, misunderstanding here, top of the shoulder there. Nothing much Mokoena could do. A nice drop from Potsane. Just outside in a very dangerous area.
Definitely outside the box. Mokoena, by the way, comes into this game with 3 yellow cards. Ordinarily, should be picking up a 4th there, which would rule him out of the Galaxy game on Tuesday. So just to remind you, Sundowns' penultimate game in the league tonight. Then Galaxy away at Bombela on Tuesday, and then next Sunday, the first leg of the Champions League final at Loftus against Royal Armed Forces of Morocco. And then they'll go away to Rabat for the second leg on May the 24th. Also a Sunday, late Sunday night South African time. We're going to have to stay up to see if South Africa can produce an African champion for the first time since 2016. This is the Rapu. Allende in the, what would you call that, the gopher position.
Yeah, the one that nobody wants. A little bit closer to get it up and over.
Rapu has not got a league goal yet in his career, 4th season as we mentioned earlier. Is this going to be the opportunity? Curls it! Well wide. Got the deflection, and it'll be a corner. Rapu will go across and take the corner as well, with the left foot, but to swing it in. Somehow following a neat line there, as if they were lining up for supper for Hotel Buffet. It's not easily cleared away. Pelosi at the back to goalkeeper Goss. And now a bit of space on the right-hand side. Rapu looks across, left-footed cross. Jeza finds no way through. Lungu, he's the nominated striker, Lungu. Onside, Rapu pulls it back. Sundowns will clear. A couple of nervy moments there for the Sundowns fans. Mokoena getting instructions from his coach.
Just a nod of acknowledgement. I think that conversation would be to make sure he covers for Modiba. As in quick succession, they caught him on this left-hand flank. that is normally the job of Mokoena as well as Allende, to cover for the fullbacks when they've further up the pitch.
Well, it's been a criticism of Modiba that his defensive work perhaps not as good as his play going forward, and something that he has to work on. And one of the reasons that he's missed a couple of key matches in the past, both for Sundowns and the national side. Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been an own goal, or would you give it to Brian Leon? It might have crossed the line before Nico Momi got there. I think for Sundowns right now, it doesn't matter. They get their third, and they're looking for more. Well, there is a bit of a shellacking now in these early stages here, and fairly simply done by Aubrey Modiba down this left-hand side. And look up, there's the delivery. Great run from the striker.
Yeah, I think that's going to go down as an own goal there. Lovely touch to set himself up. Try to go across the body. Brilliant save from Goss. And an attempted clearance from Mobi ends up at the back of his own net. Nothing much he could have done.
In fact, the touch before Mobi was actually off in Ndebele as well, for number 33. So Brian Leon 2 behind in terms of getting the strike on. As you say, Mobi own goal. Now, Tashrik Matthews trying to get in on the act again. 25 minutes gone, and Mamelodi Sundowns looking imperious. If they are outgoing champions, they're certainly leading in style here. Mokoena. Not predicting anything wild here, Stanton, but a 5 or 6 goal victory tonight would certainly add a little bit of pressure to Orlando Pirates' task later on tonight against Magesi.
It makes this run-in so much more interesting. Came out here, and within 30 minutes, the 3 up to the good. Here's Sundowns. The message is clear from the coach. Go out there and score.
If you got a 4th goal, would you then maybe throw on a Reyners, a Sales, Tembazwani? I mean, you're not going to lose from 4-0 up, so yeah, would you just throw all the attacking guns forward and see if you can't romp this and make it a big scoreline?
I think you'll definitely sacrifice one of the midfielders, Allende or Mokoena, and then add an attacker that will possibly join Leon.
We might be just talking a little too early. You never know. Siwelele is not a side to be taken lightly, and they're not going to roll over here. It is a little embarrassing, I think, from their perspective that they've fallen behind so substantively in these early stages. And then the Pirates have had the biggest win so far this season. That's 6-0 away against Galaxy in the league, which happened at the end of March. Season before, you remember beating Marumo Gallants with 7. Well, they know how to produce a one-sided scoreline.
I'm just thinking of Siwelele, and you're mentioning the comeback. They can't continue with the strategy they came in when they started the game with sitting back and catching them on the counter. They're going to have to do something a bit more braver, a bit more attack-minded, if they are to get back in this encounter.
Clearance from Ndebele, little flick on. This is Jeza, offside. Already warming up Tenants. Sundowns this season was away in Nigeria, 5-1 against Remo Stars. You might remember the prelim round of the Champions League. 4-1 over Richards Bay at home earlier on in the campaign, their biggest league win, and another 4-1 against Chipper United beginning of last month. Really need now is that famous 24-0 that they pulled off in the Nedbank Cup
against, where was it? Powerlines.
Powerlines of Kimberley.
Yeah.
Who certainly had an outage that day. Lots of load shedding. Now a bit of pressure, and Damani is caught. Jeza, square ball, they right back in it. Defensive error, and Siwelele have pulled one back with Kampani Lungu scoring for a second successive game. Damani is responsible.
Now you said it, Mark. Can't count them out. Just a lapse of concentration here from Damani. A little bit casual there. Credit to Jeza. Applied the pressure. Lovely weighted pass into the path of Lungu.
Jeza playing only his 4th match. Looks a player to the manner born. He's full of running and exciting attacking options. Stole that away from Damani. Well, given there were 3 draws earlier on today and all fairly tightly contested, and last night's game goalless as well at Chatsworth, this is a real pleasure to watch. 4 goals inside the opening 30 minutes. So Salles and Reyners warming up. No reason why they can't go in search of more goals, Mamelodi Sundowns. So now they might be a little more circumspect. Laku playing it back. Santos with a cross. Finds Modiba. I'm not sure he wanted to find Modiba. Hit that a little too strongly. Mokoena gets a touch. Mokoane to Lungu. Jeza, he'll lose out, but he'll be fouled in the process by Damani. Well, you remember Damani was the player who gave away that late penalty against Stellenbosch when they were at home and dropped points in that particular match. And you referenced that already, Stanton, the draw with Stellenbosch, the draw in Richards Bay, and the draw with Kaizer Chiefs in their last couple of league games. In fact, 3 draws in their last 5 league matches. The 2 wins, of course, home and away against Polokwane City could ultimately be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I think that was the big one. Conceding that late in the second half. Not enough time for them to forge a comeback. I think when they look back on this league encounter, that would have stood out as a red flag.
And a tougher game at Richards Bay on a pitch that was criticised by Coach Cardoso for being a little too slow, didn't suit their game. Certainly suited the home side, who did well to share the spoils. Madao looking to surge forward, that's nicely done by Rapu. And Jeza knowing he's offside. Intelligent youngster. Still plenty of time ahead here in this first half. Diva to Mokoena. Makaman on his tail. Makaman, of course, played at Mamelodi Sundowns a single season in the 2020-21 campaign. Only 1 start for Sundowns. Loaned out and then eventually sold. There's one game tomorrow, by the way, Sekhukhune against Kaizer Chiefs. And they're the world champions. Matthews with the early ball. Goss almost spilling it. Makaman. Well, they came with a this reinforced midfield with the three men across the Markaman Mokoane and oh, what a fine ball that is. Good stop from Ronwen Williams.
Siwelele testing that high line of Sundowns.
Tonight playing their 47th game of the season in all competitions. It's a pretty lengthy campaign. They've had longer, to be fair. Only 4 losses. Haven't lost a league game or lost a single league game this season against Golden Arrows. Their last loss in any match, Stade Malien in March, away from home in the Champions League. Coming into this game 9 games unbeaten. Siwelele, in contrast, were knocked out in the first round of the Carling Knockout and the Nedbank Cup, so 2 cup games plus 27 league games. This is only their 50th match of the season.
And taking into account the transition in ownership and players, I think Ziyema's managed to steady the ship a bit. The opportunity to end in the top 8 would be very successful season for them.
Here's Modiba. Cross. Clearance. Letlaku will chase and will keep it in play. Early ball for Santos. Now needs to drag this back. Looking for Matthews! Hits the upright. He hardly got any pace on that effort, Matthews, with the outside of the foot. An inch or so, and he would have had his second of the night. Letlaku, the provider. Still alive with Mokoena, with Allende. No foul, says Mr. Gaza. Went down a little too easily. Mokoane up front to Lungu. Jazza just holding, make sure he stays on side. Lungu's given that away. Now, Letlaku. Where's he going? Nice support from Santos. Again. Nicely weighted from Santos. Square ball here, number 4. All too easy. Mamelodi Sundowns. Leon, unselfish, gives Patrick Matthews his second of the night. And the vision of Nuno Santos to open up that defense as he gets his second of the evening there, Matthews. 5 goals, and we are still 10 minutes away from half-time. Bring it on.
It was Letlaku that kept the move alive, combined with Santos. Santos taking his time. A brilliant movement there from Leon, and a lovely pass for Matthews to finish up. And it's not easy to weight it correctly because this pitch is a little bit damp. So it was a spot-on pass there from Brian Leon to find his teammate Matthews.
Perfectly done by Sundowns, but assisted by the fact that Siwelele's defence had gone walkabout. 4-1 the scoreline inside the first half. Possession finds Folozi. Folozi continuing his run. The Mane giving it away, but now returned to Ronwen Williams, who's just telling him to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Good captaincy from Ronwen Williams.
Great leadership there. Another learning curve for a talented defender.
He is a youngster, turned 22 in February in Damane, so still learning. Comes from the Ladysmith area, played at amateur level for a team called FC Drakensberg, who must have reached some heights. Now chases on, Goss clears.
I was saying that Williams won't be happy with the 1 conceded. That means Sundowns now conceded 15 in the league. Pirates still on the lowest there with 12.
Sipho Chain could break his record tonight, by the way. Here's Modiba. If Sipho Chain keeps a clean sheet tonight for Pirates, it'll be the 19th of the season for him, which will break the record that Williams set of 18 just a couple of weeks ago. Chain equalized that against Stellenbosch, or equaled that against Stellenbosch in the last match for Pirates earlier on this week. Now Letlaku with the left foot, doesn't get enough elevation on that. Lungu will clear. Kotsani, the only man left up front. His height is not contributing in a defensive situation.
Rather use his speed.
Now is Santos onside. Chasing here. Early ball comes across. Ross will collect and clear quickly. Looking for Lungu, who is fouled. On the return from injury of Santos, just adding a little more quality in that middle of the park. In for Jaden Adams, who hasn't played too badly himself in the second half of the season. We didn't see much of Adams in the first half of the campaign.
Yeah, his quality really coming to the fore, that is Jaden Adams. We've witnessed it on the international level as well as for Sundowns.
Problem for Adams now, though, is sits out 2 games.
Yeah.
Does that mean he loses his place for the final of the Champions League, the first leg, which will be Sunday next? In other words, tomorrow, a week from now. Maybe the ideal rest period.
Yeah, you just get a feeling that you can't play Mokoena, Allende as well as Adams.
Lovely ball from Leon to Matthews, who's got pace, but so has Morby. Matthews looking to get it squared to Santos. We are 5 minutes from half-time. Can they make it 5 before the break? Pushing forward. There is a chance at number 5. Whew. Stuck away by Leon. Well, they are cutting into that goal difference with the Orlando Pirates. This championship chase is suddenly coming alive again here at Actressville.
Well, Mark, I tell you what, it's all smiles from Zwane. 2 thumbs up. Brilliant football here from Sundowns. And they are making it interesting. Oh boy, brilliant run there from Letlaku. A 1-2 with Santos, once again integral with a deft touch. A lovely header, and Leon on hand to slot it home. Excellent performance here from Letlaku this afternoon on that right-hand flank, giving Leo Rato something to think about.
6 goals tonight, 3 minutes from half-time. Siwelele being overrun by a rampant Mamelodi Sundowns. On paper, as Stanton has said, Orlando Pirates have this championship in their own hands, but if Sundowns are to go down, they are going down in some style.
And that was before I knew they'd score 5 today.
Yes. So the goal difference now for Mamelodi Sundowns, a 4-goal difference before half-time, means they are plus 38. Pirates plus 41. 3 is the difference now. Can they get 3 more goals here tonight? Maybe even more? Then it's going to come down to who can bang them in. Pirates have got Durban City after the Magesa game. That's next Saturday at home, and then the Saturday thereafter, the 23rd, which is the final day of the league season, they are away against Orbit College at the Royal Bafokeng Sports Palace. Marfaman. support away behind the goal of Ronald Williams, and they're usually amongst the best supporters in the league, singing constantly. I think they all look pretty shell-shocked at the moment.
The volume has been turned down.
Might be a chance here though for Lungu, looking to find Potsani, nicely cut out by Mudau, and here they go again with Matthews on the left. Mudau wants the return ball. It's not the best of passes from Tashrik Matthews, but he'll keep it alive, Mudau. Needs some support. It comes from Letlaku. Allende. Santos. Mokoena. Will he drive one? Didn't find Leon there. What an interesting team talk is going to be at half-time. I'm sure the coach has got to say to them, guys, we need more. We could suddenly wipe out this massive difference in goals that we had before the start of the game against Orlando Pirates. But obviously Sundowns are going to be careful, because these counters will produce opportunities, and that should have been a goal for Lozi. Should have stuck that in the back of the net. Poor effort from the right back.
Yeah, once again exploiting the space in behind the defence. A delightful ball there to the near post. And goal gaping for Lozi. Could not get that on target. I think it got a touch on Damani.
Inadvertently, in a way, comes to the rescue. Now at the other end, Leon on a hat-trick. Inside to Matthews, who's also on a hat-trick. Doesn't find him. Goal kick it's going to be. Just 2 minutes added on, stoppage time at the end of the first half. We had 30 seconds thereof, another 90 seconds or so to go. Everyone can have a breath. Mokoena, Santos, Allende, Letlaku, inside here, Allende plays the dummy, but Siwelele clear with Potsani. Cover, good strong cover from Kekana. Space for Lozi. Moralo, Mokoane.